Welcome to Looking at Legal Stuff. Today we have two clips of two separate friend of the court hearings with the same felon mother who owes her two different baby daddies over $23,000 in child support arrears. The judge demands an explanation after she recently sold her home and profited over $37,000, but chose not to pay a dime of that money towards her $23,000 in arrears. What does she have to say for herself? Let's find out.
All right. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the family court. This is Judge Husslink. First case this morning is Chelsea Brink versus Devin Hildebrandt. That's file 11-14050-DS. We have Ms. Brink with us. I see Mr. Hildebrandt is with us.
Yes, sir.
All right. We are here today on two matters. One is a show cause continued from last month to see whether or not you've submitted a proper amount of job applications to the friend of the court for this week. And then the second one is a supplemental petition for show cause filed by the friend of the court, which alleges that you sold your house in March of this year. They've provided documentation of that from the county records. Indicates that the house was sold for $37,000 and that the only payments since that date total $98.74. So they're asking for a show cause as to why you shouldn't be held in contempt for failure to make a diligent effort to pay a more significant portion of the amount owed after the sale of the house. So as to the proofs for job applications, Ms. Krause, has she submitted the 10 that are required this week?
She actually contacted our office and reported 2 employers. One has been verified and one was sent by electronic verification indicating she was not employed there. She had been previously, so I'm not sure if maybe she just hadn't started yet on that, but right. I do have confirmation that she is currently working for sure at one. No income withholding is set up yet because there's more information that's required from that employer to do so.
All right. Ms. Brink, where are you working at now?
I got a job at Southwoods Pub and Grill, and I'm waitressing. I've been there almost Monday makes a week. And I'm sorry, this coming Monday makes 2 weeks. A week. And then excellent. I was hired at Meyer. But they're waiting on my background check. It's taking Otsego County a long time to get back to Meyer. But I was hired there on 6/30, I believe. And as soon as their background check comes back, then I should be good to go.
That's really good news. They hired
me 5 years ago when I first got out of prison, so I don't see why it should be a problem for my background check to be okayed.
Okay. Well, that all sounds good. Ms.
Your Honor,
Krause?
I'm going to work at Southwoods for my own money, and then I'm going to work at Meyer to pay my child support, just like 3 days a week probably, because I don't want to overdo myself. And I'm going to AA meetings. My home meeting is at 11:45 every day, so I'm going to have to switch meetings. And then I have I guess that's really it. Just the AA meetings going on.
Okay. All right. Mr. Brown wanted to say something. Mr. Brown?
I just wanted to follow up on what Ms. Krause said. I know that they don't have an income withholding order yet, but Chelsea did indicate to me that her employer has received that. It just has not been processed.
Yeah, when I talked to him yesterday, he said that he had to have his boss fill it out. So as soon as his boss gets in, his boss is really busy. It's the owner of the restaurant, and he's very hands-on, so he's a very busy man. And as soon as he gets a chance, he will fill it out.
All right. Ms. Krause, is there anything else that Ms. Brink needs to do for the normal show cause proceeding?
Just maybe possibly just making payments until that is, because even if that paperwork is processed, it can take 6 to 8 weeks before money would start to be withheld.
All right.
I just want to say that the first $100 I made, I bought Christmas gifts for my kids, and because they didn't get a Christmas from me last year. So, and then I have $250 in the bank. I have to pay my car insurance because there's a delay on that. I was late on the payment, so I have to pay my car insurance first, my cell phone bill, and then everything after that is going to child support.
All right. Ms. Kraus, what is her
Well,
monthly
not
payment
everything.
supposed to
I
be?
need money to live on, but planned on paying at least $100.
With the case with Hildebrandt, correct?
Correct.
The obligation is $197. That's just for current support. Arrears are $10,801.42.
All right.
And I'd like to see that get corrected because all of that came accumulated while I was incarcerated. And according to Judge Kevin Hesslink on Brian Morgan's case, he said that if you're incarcerated for more than 6 months, child support doesn't accrue or accumulate, and mine accumulated while I was incarcerated. So I'd like to see that get straightened out.
All right, Ms. Brink.
I don't know what I have to do.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you what you have to do right now. You need to file a motion.
Hang on, let me get a piece of paper.
Okay.
Go ahead.
You need to file a motion that says the dates upon which you were incarcerated so that the friend of the court can review to see if there was any increase in the amount while you were incarcerated. And then you need to show whatever documentation you have to prove that you were incarcerated during those time periods.
Well, I don't have any. I got rid of all my, after 1 year, they told me on parole that I had to keep my paperwork for a year, and then after that, I didn't have to keep it. So I got rid of all that paperwork, but I might be able to call the prison and see if they can send me something. I'm not sure.
Your Honor.
All right. Yes, Mr. Brown.
I handled a lot of those cases. I can get that information.
That would be outstanding. Thank you for that assistance. So Ms. Brink, if you can
Thank you,
contact
Mr.
Mr. Brown, he may be able to assist you with that, but you need to file a motion that says when you were incarcerated and proof of those incarceration dates. And then that information can be given to Ms. Kraus and she can do an investigation as to what, if any, amounts were increased during that incarceration period. And then that can be set for a hearing in front of me and we'll make a decision on it.
Okay, thank you so much.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear what you said.
I said, okay, thank you so much.
All right, yep. Ms.
I'll
Kraus,
do that.
is there an ordered on arrears amount in the Hildebrandt case?
There is not.
All right, I'd like to have a recommendation from the friend of the court in writing as to that amount, and we'll have it set for hearing at next month's court date. So that Ms. Brink has an adequate opportunity to review it and see whether she agrees with it or not. And if she wants to disagree, then she'll have a court hearing for that time period. All right, Ms. Brink, the current monthly amount that you owe now that you're working is $197 each month. So we're going to adjourn the show cause to see that you are making that payment. You no longer, because you're employed, you no longer have to do the 10 applications per week. So just keep working, but you need to make your payments now of $197 each and every month. So I'm going to adjourn.
Yeah, I'll put good faith effort into it.
Okay. I'm going to adjourn the first show cause then because you're working. So I'm glad to hear that. And we'll monitor whether or not you're making your payments of $197 each month for the next few months. And if you are, then we'll get rid of the show cause on that. So next, I'm going to turn my attention to this supplemental petition filed by the friend of the court regarding the sale of your home. It's my understanding that the home was sold in March for a price of $37,000, and the friend of the court has not received any significant funds since that time towards your arrearages. Was the home sold in March?
Yes, sir.
And were there any amounts that you received? How much did you receive for the home?
I received one payment of $30,000 and one payment of $7,000.
All right. And why is it that you have not made any additional payments then towards your child support arrears?
Well, can I tell you the whole story? Do you have time?
Well, you can do it in the next 3 or 4 minutes. Yes.
Okay, yeah. So I was living at, so before I sold the house, I was incarcerated. I got, because of the assault on Sean Conradi, who was a heroin addict living in my house. I gave him a second chance. He was living in his truck, starving to death, he told me. So he ended up assaulting me. I called the police several times to try to have him removed from my house. They put me in jail because they were scared I was going to get seriously hurt. I did 38 days, and while I was there, I went to sober living. When I got out of sober living is when I decided to sell my house. While I was in sober living, I got engaged to Brian Morgan, and he moved me down to Davison, Michigan. Well, he assaulted me very, very, very badly, went to jail. And the landlord wouldn't accept like NEMSCA help or any kind of help from me to pay the rent, and he locked me out. Well, I slept, and that happened right after I sold my house. So I bought a camper, and I was living in my camper. I spent $7,000 on, or I'm sorry, $8,500 on that. And then had no vehicle, so I spent $6,500 on my truck. So that was, and I got a really good deal on the truck. I didn't get screwed or anything like that, pardon my language. And so I was living in my camper. Well, I decided that I lost my job at Italia Gardens. So I decided to come back north, and my camper got wrecked. And so I went under the, I don't know what it's called, but I think it's like an awning thing at Travelodge, and it ripped the AC unit off and put a big hole in the roof. And then, so I couldn't sleep in that anymore. You know, I couldn't live in it anymore because of weather. Well, it got towed from McDonald's because when I went through McDonald's drive-through, something caught on the side and ripped the siding off of it. And then, so I spent the rest of the money on hotel rooms to live in. I did sleep in my truck some of that time. I was trying to save money, but by the time I got back up here, most of the money was gone. So what I could afford, I paid out of that money. But most of the money was gone. I had to buy a vehicle. I had no vehicle, and I had to figure out something where to sleep, you know.
The friendly court says that you paid a total of $98.74.
That's not accurate. I paid $200.
Since
$100
March,
bills went there, and I got receipts for both.
they were split between the two cases.
I understand that, but I did pay $200.
All right, so almost 100 of it was credited to this case, and the other amount went to the other case.
Okay,
So
good.
200. Okay, so you got $37,000. You spent $15,000 in total on a camper and a truck. So that means you spent $12,000 on yourself without making any payments for your kids.
I made 2 payments.
$200. So you spent $11,800 on yourself instead of paying it towards your kids.
Well, I did the best I could, sir. I'm sorry that makes you upset.
That's not the best you can. That's being selfish. It's spending money on yourself instead of sending it to your kids.
Well, I haven't spent money on myself in 5 years.
Your Honor, that'd be 22,000 rather than 12,000.
You're absolutely right. Thank you very much for the math correction. I appreciate that.
Well, either way, I'm working now, so payments will come.
Here's what's going to happen with those payments, Ms. Brink. They're going to go up substantially. I know that the money's gone now, but I'm going to take that into account when I set the ordered on arrears amount.
You have
You
to base it off
wasted,
what I'm making. You can't just increase it because you want to and you're not happy about my case.
and I will, but I have
You have to
discretion
follow
as
the
to
law.
where it's going to be
that
placed.
formulation.
Ms. Brink, I'm not going to have this argument with you today. I'm simply telling you what I'm going to do. You can object to it next month, Ms. Brink. You can object to it next month when we have the hearing on it, but I'm telling you what I'm disposed to do so that you can prepare yourself for it. I am disposed to, in my discretion. Ms. Brink, I'm talking, you'll wait. I'm disposed in my discretion to raise the amount that you're going to be paying on the arrears amount because you have wasted $22,000 on yourself instead of paying child support. You could have paid off the entire amount of child support that you owe in this case and probably in the other case. All right. We'll have you back in a month. Ms. Kraus has taken notes. She has noted that I will use my discretion to increase the amount of ordered on arrears amount next month to the most amount that we possibly can under the recommendations. So that's all for today. Thank you very much.
Is there a Mason case?
There is, and it'll be called in just a minute, but the next case is not that case.
Okay, I do have to work at 11, so just so you know.
Thank you very much. I'll get to you as quickly as I can.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Similar to the last case, we're here on two matters. One is a normal show cause to determine whether or not you're meeting your monthly obligations. And then we have the supplemental petition to show cause regarding the house sale as well. I understand from the last case that we had that you are now employed and your employer is in the process of doing a withholding order and also that you have sold your house and the funds have been spent. So I'm going to enter the same order in this case that I did in the last case, unless there's some different information that you want to tell me about for this particular case.
I don't think so. I think everything I said is true, and I think I've said everything that I need to say, except for that I do have motions filed for parenting time, and I'd like to get my children over to Petoskey, where I'm living at the Mary Margaret House, to the Children's Advocacy Center. I'm working with APS as well. I have an open APS case for myself and my parents.
All right. Well, the parenting time, Ms. Brink, parenting time goes to Mr. Legal as the referee first. So you'll have to deal with him.
Actually, Don Ellison.
Your Honor.
Don Ellison
that has been changed to me, hasn't it? All right. I remember that. All right. I don't see any motions that you filed in the court file for that, though. Have you filed those motions yet?
Yes. It's scheduled July 25th at 10 a.m.
Your Honor.
Yes.
In regards to that, there was a motion that was filed, but there are case notes from the county clerk that was sent back to her with some instructions to complete the fee waiver or send payment. So it would have to be set for a later date.
All right. All I can say, Ms. Brink,
I did do that, and I already mailed it in.
Well, it hasn't reached the court file yet. So once it reaches here, I'll have that hearing.
I haven't seen my kids in 2 years.
Okay, Ms. Brink, once it gets here, we'll have the hearing when it's set. It's just not set for today.
Right. Okay.
I'm not denying you an opportunity to have a hearing. I'm simply saying I don't see it in the court file at the moment, which means it simply hasn't gotten here yet. I'm sure that it's on its way, and once it gets here, we'll have a hearing on the date set for that hearing. But I can't do it today because it's not set for today.
Right.
All right. So on the friend of the court matter, we will do the same thing in this file that we did in the other file. Because she's now employed, she can start making payments. Ms. Kraus, what are the monthly payments that she needs to make in this file?
This specific case would be $252. There was an ordered on arrears order back from 2018 requesting $50 towards overdue support. Her arrears on this case
Which I was incarcerated.
All right, Ms. Brink, you're going to have a chance to make that motion in this case too. We're going to get to that, but you
Okay.
need to let people talk until they're done, and then you can jump in. You can't just talk over people. All right, Ms. Kraus, go ahead.
The arrears on this case is $13,107.09.
All right, Ms. Kraus, I'd like to have you do an ordered on arrears recommendation in this file, just like you did in the other one. I realize that there's $50 a month being paid, but back when that was set, I believe that there was probably a much less, a much reduced arrears amount. So I'd like to have a current recommendation, and we'll schedule that for hearing at the next month's court hearing. And then in the meantime, Ms. Brink, you need to be making payments of $252 a month on this file, and we'll review that next month to make sure that you're able, how well you did on that. And then you can also get with Mr. Brown to get the documentation that you need to make any motions regarding the same thing that you did in the last file about the incarceration time if you believe that the arrears amount is not accurate and grew during the time that you were incarcerated.
It did, and I will. The only thing I was going to say is that, yes, I was incarcerated during from 2017 to 2020, I was incarcerated. So all of that is inaccurate, and I will be filing a motion for that. And I was going to say something else and I can't remember, so I don't want to waste your time. Oh, Mr. Mason has been letting me talk to John, my son, on the phone. So I will say that that is progress in a positive direction. But the only complaint I have is that he is talking very poorly about me, my mother, and my father, probably my sisters and brother. And he's talking very badly about my family in front of my son, and that's causing my son's autism to be worse.
All right, Ms. Brink,
so I'm concerned.
all of those things are parenting time issue things. So I can't consider that today. So when we have the hearing on the parenting time motion, you can bring all of that up to my attention then, and I'll consider it at that time. All right, ma'am?
Yes, sir. And I do want to tell you too that I'm working with NEMSCA and working on getting a place, and I should be in my place like within the next month. But the only thing I was going to say is, am I going to get a whole month between court hearings? Because it's only been 2 weeks since I've been in court. And I'd like to see myself get a whole month in between court hearings so that I have a chance to pay on my child support before I get lectured again.
We try to give you as close to a month as we possibly can. There are some days, some months where it's not possible due to scheduling for other reasons. But we will give you as much notice or much lead time as we possibly can. So this will be scheduled next month at the normal time. I don't know whether that's going to be exactly a month from now or not, but it'll be as close to that as we can possibly get. All right. Is there anything else, Ms. Brink?
I need to update my address with the court as well.
All right. You need to do that in writing to the friend of the court, please.
I'm sorry?
Do you want to give? You want to give it to us now, and then you also need to send us a note so that we have the file.
Yes.
Go ahead.
And that's temporary, so I'll have to update my address again once I get it into my apartment in Vanderbilt.
All right. If you would send that to the friend of the court in the mail as well, so that they have that for their file, so that they make sure that they keep that accurate as much as possible, I'd appreciate that. All right. That's all for today, then. Thank you very much, ma'am. Good luck to you next month.
Your Honor.
Thank you.
Would you be able to request that we update the address? Because then we can do that in our system if you order it.
Yes, please. Chelsea Brink.
Chelsea's actually here. I don't see her name.
All right. Well,
Your Honor.
Yes. Good morning.
I have tried to contact Chelsea. It appears her phone may have been disconnected, so I'm uncertain of what's going on.
All right. Well, we'll just call the cases and see where we go from there. So, but thank you for the information. All right. The first matter on the court's docket this morning. Oh, by the way, welcome. Good to see all of you. Thank you for being here today. The first matter on the court's docket is Devin Hildebrandt and Chelsea Brink. That's file 11-14050-DS. This is scheduled for a friend of the court petition and hearing regarding ordered on arrears amount and also a show cause amount. I do see Mr. Hildebrandt is with us. Mr. Brown just informed me that he's tried to contact Ms. Brink and was unable to as her phone appears to have been disconnected. Ms. Kraus, have you had any contact from Ms. Brink?
I have not, but she did report a new employer on August 15th.
Are we getting income withholding from her?
We are not receiving income withholdings. She did make a payment that dispersed to 2 of her cases on July 22nd. $43.37 was applied to this specific case based on the disbursement policy.
All right. Mr. Hildebrandt, have you had any contact with Ms. Brink recently?
No, sir. Besides, my daughter had a little bit of contact with her, but that was probably the end of it.
All right. Did you receive the small payment that's been made recently?
Yeah.
All right. What I intended to do today was to find out if she'd made a payment, and if she did, to continue the case till next month to make sure that she continues to make payments. But I also wanted to set an ordered on arrears amount because she owes you quite a bit of money in back child support. And she's not got a specific amount that she's supposed to be paying on that. Ms. Kraus, could you, I know I read your petition. You're asking for $197. I'm sorry, $99 a month to go towards arrears. Is that correct?
It is, and I just wanted to mention in regards to line 3 that it indicates the court would use discretion when determining that amount as the plaintiff's sale of their home and payment history would be considered.
Yeah, I do recall that. It's my memory that she received about $37,000. Is that yours, Ms. Kraus?
I do believe so, yes.
All right, so she got about $37,000 according to her testimony last month when we had a hearing on this. And it's my memory also that she spent all of that on purchasing vehicles and staying in hotels as opposed to giving any of that to child support. Mr. Hildebrandt, did you receive any of those funds from her sale of her house in child support amounts?
No.
All right. Under those circumstances, I believe that an additional amount is appropriate over that. At $99 a month, she owes, Ms. Kraus, is the dollar amount of $10,800 or $801.42. Is that still accurate relatively?
That is accurate as of July 11th.
All right, so it might be a month's worth more than that, but so that's going to take, by my math, it's going to take 9 years to pay off at $99 a month. So I'm going to up it to $150 a month because she had those dollars available to her. She may have spent them now, but it's clear to me that she didn't spend them on child support. So we're going to set the order on arrears amount at $150. Still going to take her approximately 6 years to pay that off at that rate, but at least it's something that Mr. Hildebrandt can get while the child is still in the house with him, as opposed to wait until the child is too old to do anything with it. So we'll set it at that amount. She's failed to appear, but she had proper notice of today's hearing. So that amount will be set on the ordered on arrears amount, and then we will adjourn out the show cause for another month to make sure she pays. If she doesn't pay next month, please let me know. We'll schedule this for next month, and if she doesn't pay, we'll do a show cause on that, or actually I'll consider contempt at that point. Any other questions that you have, Ms. Kraus?
I do not, thank you.
Mr. Hildebrandt, is there anything else that we can do for you, sir?
No, sir.
All right, appreciate you being here. Have a good day.
Thank you, you too.
All right, while we're on the matter of Chelsea Brink, let me call up the other case that she has as well. This is the matter of Chelsea Brink and William Mason, file 13-15199-DC, set for a order to show cause on monitoring her payments, as well as an ordered on arrears amount. Do not see Mr. Mason present with us. And Ms. Brink, we just had a case on in which she failed to appear. Her attorney did not have any contact with her, tried to call and the number was disconnected. The other respondent parent had no contact with Ms. Brink as well. The friend of the court had no contact with Ms. Brink. Ms. Spillane, have you had any contact with Ms. Brink on this matter?
No, sir.
All right, has she made any payments on this file in the last month?
We received $50.63 in July, but nothing yet for August. But as the previous caseworker reported, she just did indicate she has new employment, so the income withholding order hasn't taken effect just yet.
All right, it has been sent out, however?
I believe so. I'll double check real quick.
All right. All right, given the fact that she has made a payment within the last month or so, I'm simply going to adjourn the show cause to see if she makes her payment for this coming month. If she does, I won't hold her in contempt. If she doesn't, I will. As to the ordered on arrears amount, the request from the friend of the court is for $101 of overdue arrears, which is 1/2 of the current monthly amount. I'm going to change that to $150 a month as I did in the other case, because at the last court hearing that we had, Ms. Brink indicated she had received $37,000 earlier this year from the sale of her home and made absolutely zero payments and $0 towards her ordered on towards her arrearages, which in the other file were $10,000, which in this file is in excess of $13,000. For that reason, I'm going to up the payment to $150 because that $101 is going to take in excess of 133 months, which is almost close to 12 years, which is way too long to repay. So even at 150, it's still going to take her 8 or 9 years, which is quite a lengthy period of time to repay a debt. But at least it gives us a chance to have the child to still be in the home when the arrears amounts are received. So we'll set the arrears amount at $150 a month, and then we'll adjourn the show cause to next month to see if she's made her payments. Anything else we can do today in this case, Ms. Spillane?
No, sir.
All right. Thank you very much. That's all for that case.